Jansen Harris here with the Just Good Network. We are talking Charles Harris. The Atlanta Falcons traded a seventh-round pick in the 2021 NFL Draft for defensive end Charles Harris. Now let's talk about the guy. He went to Lincoln Prep High School. His hometown is Kansas City, Missouri. 6'3", 235 pounds. He redshirted his first year at Missouri. His sophomore season, or redshirt freshman, whatever, 13 solo tackles, total 19 tackles, 2 sacks, 11 yards on the sacks. 2015 and 16 is when he really broke out, totaling 15 sacks and really just dominating. A lot of people had him high up on their boards. He has loose and fluid hips. This is what they were saying at the time. Good first step, good spin move. And a ton of experts were saying he potentially could have been a Pro Bowl player. Now, when we look at the production at Miami with the Dolphins, it wasn't good. I'm not going to sit here and lie. They used a 22nd pick on him, and he's been basically a bust. He hasn't been that good. Now, in his defense, which technically he's a versatile player, they were playing more of a 3-4, so they moved him around a lot. But this isn't the player the Dolphins got. This isn't the guy they thought, okay, well, we see his arm length at 32 and 3/8 of an inch length. His hand size was decent, ran a pretty good 40 time, 21 reps on the bench press. I guess they thought he was going to be a Pro Bowl type of player. But when we look at the career numbers, 3.5 sacks, and just even if you look past him, let's just keep it real. He just wasn't that productive. This isn't a guy that the Dolphins really valued. They don't look at him as an asset. That's why they got rid of his ass. But when we look at his situation now with the Falcons, if you paid attention to what Dan Quinn said about it, he said, on most of the best defenses that we've been around, having to find a rotation where guys are rolling through. So what he's basically saying there is he likes having a bunch of defensive linemen that you kind of bring in and out, keep them fresh. Those usually produce some of the best defensive lines. So when you bring in a guy like Harris, who's at 25 years old, he still can make some changes. Not really that. Only had 3 seasons, so he could maybe turn some things around, add depth. Hopefully he could do a decent job. Remember, you brought in Fowler, 11.5 sacks, talking a lot of shit. Young guy, too. Expect to have a huge season. Tack McKinley. This could go either way. And let me not forget, Grady Jarrett, the Pro Bowler, one of the best defensive linemen in the league, period. So I'm not saying this is a bad move. I'm just saying this is a we'll see move. He adds depth. Let's go with the age. Let's go with what we see. If you look at the college tape, he's pretty dominant as a player. He's a dominant player, natural pass rusher. He's going to get a ton of opportunities with the Falcons, and he doesn't have to necessarily be the man. He doesn't need to step in there and dominate and get you 10 sacks or even 8 sacks. Go in there and get you 5. But we'll see where Dan Quinn uses him. Again, he did a lot of outside rushes, sometimes on the inside. We'll see where Dan Quinn puts him in this rotation. That's going to be the key, how many snaps he gets. But if he could just put some pressure on the quarterback, because the Falcons desperately need that. They were 29th in sacks last season. Then it'll be a win. This isn't a huge move, but this is a move that Thomas Dimitroff is like, hey, we need to add bodies. We need to do as much as possible to improve this roster. Now, when we look at it, drafting Marlon Davidson in the second round as well, too. You add him to the mix, and I forgot to mention him a little bit earlier. This should be a pretty good pass rush for the Falcons in a make-or-break year. The Falcons, if they want to be good this season, they're going to have to get a consistent pass rush. I would say maybe if we talk about sack numbers or hurries on the quarterback, be in the top half of the league. If the Falcons could be in the top half of the league, then they're probably going to be in the playoffs. But if we got the same shit we got last season, expect around the same record, because the Falcons, they give quarterbacks way too much time. And if you look on the back end of things, which the A.J. Terrell, some people don't like it. I do. In the previous video, you'll know why. Go check that out. I think A.J. Terrell, he could come in there and automatically he's going to start because they really ain't got much on the roster. Hopefully the Falcons game plan too, maybe later in free agency or maybe via trade to bring in a veteran cornerback who could push A.J. Terrell, also give you actually push Isaiah Oliver as well too, because to me he's not just a plug in and he's a starter. He needs to prove himself as well too, just to push some of these young guys. So I definitely think the Falcons still need to beef up that secondary. And as for the defensive line, they just need to get production because Dan Quinn needs to get production out of these linemen. Again, it starts with Fowler and Jarrett, but Tack McKinley needs to have a big year. Marlon Davidson is going to be pressure on him, and also Charles Harris. Hopefully he has an injury-free year, and we can see what he could offer. I'm Jansen Harris with the Just Good Network. Like, comment, subscribe below on YouTube. Go like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well, Just Good Network.